Assalamu alaikum, my dear students. Today, our topic is economic importance of algae. Algae can be used in a number of ways. For example, many green algae like chlorella, ulva, caulerpa, and enteromorpha, among others, they can be used as food. So, algae can be used as food. Now, the next one in series is some green algae they can be used in space research. In the recent years, biologists have realized that unicellular green algae like chlorella they could produce enough oxygen because they produce this oxygen during photosynthesis, okay, and this oxygen it can be used during space flight trips rather, okay. It can be used by astronauts when they go to the outer space. So algae can be used in space research as well. Now the next one is antibiotics. The genus Chlorella, it yields an important antibiotic substance which is known as chlorelin. And this chlorelin, it has been found effective against both gram-positive as well as gram-negative bacteria. And this substance, it has been found effective especially against E. coli, Escherichia coli, Shigella dysentery, and Staphylococcus aureus. Now, sewage disposal. How algae can be used in proper disposal of sewage. Many unicellular green algae, including chlorella and chlamydomonas, they can be used in sewage disposal ponds. In sewage disposal, these algae, when added to the sewage disposal ponds, they are known to remove carbon dioxide. They remove carbon dioxide from water and they add oxygen back, okay. So if the water has been depleted of its oxygen because of contamination, okay, the oxygen content can be restored back by adding these unicellular green algae, okay. Since they add carbon, they remove carbon dioxide and they add oxygen back by photosynthesis. Now agar agar. What is agar agar? Agar agar is a carbohydrate. It is a complex carbohydrate consisting of two polysaccharides, namely agarose and agropectin. Okay, it is having two constituents, agarose and agropectin. And this agar agar, it is obtained from several red algae, including Gracilaria, Gelidium, Zygartina, and Chondrus. This is very much important. You may be asked in the examination what is the source of agar agar. Okay, you have to remember that agar agar is obtained from the red algae like Gracilaria, Gelidium, Zygartina, and Chondrus. Now, what is the role of agar agar? How this agar agar can be used? Agar agar is used for manufacturing, for preparing a variety of culture media, and these culture media they are used in microbiological research. They are used in bacteriological research. You can grow bacteria using agar agar as the culture medium. Now, one more substance which is obtained from algae is carrageenan. Carrageenan is a polysaccharide colloid, okay, it is a polysaccharide colloid, and this colloid is specifically named as phycocolloid. Why? Because it is obtained from algae. Phyco means algae, okay, and carrageenan it is obtained specifically from the red algae like Chondrus crispus and Zygartina stellata. So carrageenan, which is a complex polysaccharide, a linear polysaccharide which is sulfated, okay, it is a linear polysaccharide which is sulfated, having sulfur groups, and it is obtained from red algae like Chondrus crispus and Zygartina stellata. This carrageenan or phycocolloid, you can say, it is widely used in soups, sauces, milkshakes, cheese, jellies, cream, and fruit juices. And it has also been used in painting and printing. Okay, so the uses of this carrageenan, uh, they are diverse. You can use this carrageenan in the manufacture of soups, sauces, and other substances, and it has also found uses in painting and printing. Now, alginates. What are alginates? Alginates are the carbohydrates, okay, or you can say alginic acid. It is a carbohydrate which is obtained from laminaria, ascophyllum, fucus, neurocystis, turbinaria. Okay, alginates are the carbohydrates which are obtained from laminaria, ascophyllum, fucus, neurocystis, turbinaria, etc. Now, what are the uses of alginates? Alginates are used in pharmaceuticals as emulsifiers. You know what are emulsifiers. I don't feel the need to explain what is emulsifier. They are used as emulsifiers and stabilizers, as well as they are used for making pills, antibiotic capsules, etc. So, alginates are having many uses in the manufacture of pharmaceuticals. Okay, uh, by acting as emulsifiers, they act as emulsifiers and stabilizers, and they are also being used for making pills, antibiotic capsules. Besides the pharmaceutical uses, the alginates are also used in the preparation of soups, jellies, cosmetics, toothpastes, polishes, hair dyes, compact powders, lotions, and shampoos, etc. Okay. Now, how algae can be used in how they can be used as medicines. Sodium laminarin sulfate, which is a compound obtained from an alga, laminaria. It is obtained from laminaria. This sodium laminarin sulfate, it is used as blood anticoagulant. Okay, it does not allow blood to coagulate. So, algae can also be used as medicines, and the example is sodium laminarin sulfate, a blood anticoagulant obtained from laminaria. Similarly, there is an alga which is named as Duruvillia. This Duruvillia alga, it has antiworm, or you can say vermifuge properties. Now, the harmful aspects of algae. We will discuss a few of its harmful aspects. The first one is algal toxicity. Alga like Lyngbya and Chlorella, they cause skin allergies in human beings. Okay, this is the harmful aspect of algae. Lyngbya and Chlorella, they are known to cause skin allergies in human beings. The second one is algal parasitism. Several algae like a red alga Cephalourus virescens, it causes the red rust of tea plants. It is a parasite on tea plants. So you can remember some algae, they act as parasites. For example, Cephalourus virescens, they are known to cause red rust of tea. And then water blooms. What are water blooms? Water blooms means excessive growth of algae on the surface of water. They form thick mat-like structures. And because of the formation of thick mat-like structures, the algae, they deplete the water of its oxygen and light. They do not allow light and oxygen to penetrate water. And because of this, the other living organisms like fishes which live in water, they can either die or they have to move to some other places. Okay, and besides this, the algae which form water blooms, they are known to secrete some harmful toxins which cause diseases in humans and animals. And those areas where there are water blooms, the diversity of other organisms, the diversity of other plants, okay, it decreases because there is no oxygen, there is no light penetrance, okay. This formation of water blooms, it literally creates dead zones in water bodies. So water blooms are nothing but excessive growth of some algae on the surface of water, and this excessive growth of algae, it depletes, it deprives the water of its oxygen content, and consequently it leads to death of fishes. And besides this, the algae which form water blooms, they secrete harmful toxins which are known to cause diseases in humans and animals. Okay, so this is all about the economic importance and harmful aspects of algae. With this, we have uh, completed algae, and in the next part, we will start with bryophytes. Till then, take care.